Winds in the east, there's a mist coming in, like something is brewing and about to begin. Can't put my finger on what lies in store,
but I feel what's to happen's all happened before. A father, a mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives are all raveling undone. But something is needed to twist them as tight as a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Chin 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 chin, cherry chin cherry.
Those little beasts have run away from me for the last time.
And who takes care of the children with no nanny in the house? Me, that's who!
I've said my say, Miss Brill. I'm done with this house forever.
Well, good riddance, and mind you, don't stumble on your way out.
Where is she going? What on earth am I going to say to Mr. Banks?
What is all this commotion? Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Coat. Winifred, you've engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months, and they've all been unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool. A nanny's a stalwart our children would gain by having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane. Briefcase. Umbrella.
If only we could find someone like your old nanny.
Few women alive could manage Miss Andrews' standards of efficiency. Besides, we can never afford someone of her caliber. Now, place an advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
Father, we've written our own advertisement.
What on earth?
Please, George, I think we should hear it.
If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition, rosy cheeks, no warts.
That's the part I put in.
Play games, all sorts. You must be kind, you must be witty, very sweet and fairly pretty.
Of all the ridiculous...
George, please.
Take us on outings, give us treats.
Sing songs, bring sweets.
We won't hide your spectacles so you can see.
Put toads in your bed or pepper in your tea.
Hurry, Nanny, many thanks.
Sincerely,
Jane
and Michael Banks.
That's quite enough Tommy rot for one day. Now, will you please go to the nursery and let me get to work?
They were only trying to help.
It won't help anyone to make me late. Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign.
You remain the sovereign
Of Cherry Tree Lane. Yes?
I've come in answer to the advertisement.
What advertisement? We haven't placed any advertisement.
Let's see. Play games, all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's our advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. There's no objection on that score, I hope.
None at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
But take it up with Mrs. Banks. She handles all that side of things. Nothing domestic has anything to do with me. And don't forget the references.
I make it a rule to never give references.
Oh, I see.
I'll see the children now, thank you.
Oh, yes, of course. You'll find that they're very nice children. Now, this is...
Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare. And close your mouth, Michael. We are not a codfish. Best foot forward, Spitspot.
Mrs. Brill, we have a new nanny.
She passed her interview then.
Or I did.
A very tidy nursery, I must say. Tidier than I was expecting. Who's responsible for that?
Mrs.
Me. I am. I like to keep things neat.
Do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. If there's one thing I appreciate, it's a child whose word I can depend on. Now, first things first. I always say the proper place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it.
We'd better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky.
Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list?
Your list? I'm not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much.
Then how did you come then? It's as if the wind just blew you here.
It did. Now, stand over there. Just as I thought. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
What? You're making that up. A noisy, mischievous truck.
Now you. Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy.
I don't believe you. Let me see. What about your measurements, Mary Poppins?
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say. Each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Now, perhaps you have a few questions.
Not temperamental.
Never.
Not grouchy or
The
gruff.
very thought.
Will you stay tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
Do you read stories without a big fuss?
Or have objections to playing with us?
Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this. I like games, but I choose them.
That's not fair.
I never said I was fair. I said I was practically perfect, and here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you both will be the same. You'll be practically perfect. You will be practically perfect in every way. Best foot forward, spit spot.
Chimney, chim chim charoo. I does what I likes, and I likes what I do. Today I'm a screever, and as you can see, a screever's an artist of highest degree. And it's all me own work from me own memory. Stay right where you are. I'd know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins.
It's nice to see you, Bet.
Well, I must say, you do look swell.
He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two, Bet?
I've seen him running around chasing a kite.
It isn't a real kite.
Well, what are you up to today?
Mary Poppins says it's a game. It's called A walk in the park.
Yeah, some game. I'd rather eat spinach.
Come along, Bet.
You can't come with us. You're too dirty, and we don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes, you do. Because when you go on a walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you've never dreamed of. All it takes is a spark. Then something as plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew, and you'll understand why it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright.
You do talk nonsense,
Oh,
Bert.
happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the
I haven't the
door.
faintest idea.
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like other nannies thinking. Parks are good for us. It's just statues, ducks, and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss.
Is she doing it despite us?
We could lose her for a lark.
Perhaps it's all a plot.
I'll tell you what, she seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in the park.
What was that?
You're quite wrong, you know. When you take a walk with Mary, anything can happen.
Who are you?
I'm Melius, and I've waited half a century to take a walk on a sunny day like this.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Oh, let's go for a jaunty saunter with us about to make a mark. When the day is light and ordinary, all of us were born to take our time right in the park. With this all in all, find the cheers of features. Look down from above. When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. It's no wonder that it's Mary that we love. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
Jane, did that really happen?
Yes, but how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
But how did you make it happen?
Anything can happen if you let it.
Mary Poppins, how long will you stay?
We'll see.
You are not going to leave us, will you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay until the wind changes. Now, run along in.
Jane and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy, we've had a fantastic day. We sang with a busker and danced with statues. You wouldn't have a proof, but...
If you know that, then why did you do it?
Daddy, could I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
You could always teach me.
When would I ever have the time to do that? Now, would you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites.
I used to love flying kites when I was his age, but my nanny, Miss Andrew, soon scared it out of me.
Is it out of the question to do without a nanny?
Don't be absurd. All the best people have nannies, so the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how is your tea party coming on?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to send out invitations to people I hardly know.
But they're people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall ye be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends.
Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. Are you going to speak to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well, but just make sure she's doing things our way. Knock.
Winds do change, tides can turn, sink or swim, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade, so I learned them all. Chim chimney, chim chim cherry.
Mrs. Brill, what about the cake?
It's just out of the oven. Too hot to be iced, or touched for that matter.
Are you quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure, and in case you're worried, I have it been exchanged by fairies for a total nincompoop.
I'll just go up and check the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful.
I'd like to be rich, but Destiny thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room. She says you can tell Roberts and I what to do.
Does she indeed?
Oh, please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind, honest.
All right, I'll give you one task and one task only. Place the icing tools next to the cake. Do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. I swear a slave in ancient Rome would have a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how.
Don't be so feeble. Get the eggs and flour.
Are there eggs in icing?
Darn mine. Roberts and I, bring me the cake.
Oh, hot, 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 ah!
Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready now.
Roberts and I, what have you done? Somebody call a doctor.
I don't think that will be necessary, ma'am.
Children, you know how important my party is. You deserve some very nasty medicine. Just you wait till bedtime.
Oh, I don't think we should wait till then, ma'am. Why not go up and get changed? We'll clear up, won't we?
But we're not ill. I won't take it. You can't make me.
In that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open.
But it's strawberry ice.
Now you.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I care. Open.
Lime cordial.
Now, off we go. Michael, I know you like to keep things neat. Jane?
I told you she was tricky.
Must we? Can Roberts and I do it when he wakes up? He is a servant.
With that attitude, you'll go through a lot of stuff before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and stuff. The job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake. A lark, a spring, it's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Oh, 5 points exactly. The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flowers to the comb never tire them buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip I.
Mary Poppins, you're a miracle worker.
How'd you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. In the most delightful way. In the most delightful
I'll be off now, ma'am. Come along, children. Best foot forward.
These came for you this morning, ma'am. They're from your guest. Roberts and I forgot to give them to you. None of them are coming.
Oh, do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, ma'am. I think you chose the wrong people.
In a most delightful way.
Mary Poppins, where are we going today?
I thought we could play our next game.
What game?
A visit to the bank.
That's not a game. Did Daddy agree?
And if he did, you must have put the idea into his head somehow.
What an impertinent thing to say. Me, putting ideas into other people's heads. Really?
precision and order, causing a wheel, opening a ledger, closing a deal, prudent investment, financial sense, our perfect ray of sunshine, found shillings and pence.
Good morning, thanks. A word. I see Airbound Husband's coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, good. Be sure it's the right one.
In every transaction, credit or debt, sheets are well balanced, targets are met.
Arbex, what objections can you have? My security is more than adequate. And Latin America is an expanding market. Have you no courage?
But Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is, what exactly is your final product?
What do you think? Money, of course.
Yes, money. But I wonder, making money out of money, is that enough?
Are you man enough to be a banker?
Assessing the market, limit the risk, little room for error, business is brisk.
Have you come to your decision, Mr. Banks? There's a ton of good people out there whose future depends on you.
I know that.
Give us this chance. The factory could be running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. Please, Mr. Banks, I'd give it everything I've got.
I believe you, Mr. Northbrook, and I've tried to find a way. But how can I be sure that the money would be safe?
What about my workforce? They'll make it safe. My men have dreams to earn an honest living, a wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it paves the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook, but
Hello, Daddy.
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No man should be too busy for his own children. What have you come here for, young man? Have you come for some money as well?
Hardly. What would they need money for?
It's never too early to learn its value.
I know the value of this. 6 pence.
No, that's its worth. Its value is in how you spend it. Do good, and may you have good luck.
And what do you say to Mr. Northbrook?
Thank you.
I'll be waiting outside.
When I was a little boy, I would never have dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course. And my nanny, Miss Andrew, kept me out of my father's way.
What about your mother?
I shouldn't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Then who kissed you goodnight, Miss Andrew?
Certainly not. There was no time for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense.
Poor Daddy.
When you invest the bank's money, Daddy, what are you looking for? A good man or a good idea?
I suppose I should say a good idea. But a good man is much rarer and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Hustler, I've considered your arguments, but I'm afraid the answer is no.
Don't you recognize a good idea when you hear it?
Perhaps not, but I recognize a good man when I see him.
You will regret this, Herr Banks.
A man with dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance.
Mr. Northbrook, exactly when could the new factory be open?
Thank you, sir. You won't regret this.
The birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
There's that horrible old woman.
Don't point. And for your information, she is not in the least horrible.
But she's just a bundle of rags.
When will you learn to look past what you see? Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes. In her own special way to the people she calls.
Come, buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care, and you'll be glad when you do. The young ones are hungry, the nests are so bare. All it takes is tuppence from you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her birds fill the skies. Here, one bag, please. Around the cathedral sings, as the apostles go down as she sails away. Although you have seen her before, there's hardly each time someone shows that he cares. Though her words are simple and few, listen, listen, she's calling to you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
Hello, Bert.
Hello, Mary. Hello, kids.
Hello.
We're off to Mrs. Corey's talking shop. Care to join us?
Talking shop?
Who's Mrs. Corey?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Mrs. Corey is older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vlad before he went impaling, and to Alexander before he weren't so great.
That's impossible.
Anything can happen if you let it.
Well, 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 if it's Mary Poppins with Jane Michael Banks.
She knows us?
And how's poor little Georgie Banks?
Who?
Georgie Banks, your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come right here into my shop all the time.
Oh, remember how George used to love my gingerbread stars? Oh, anyway, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you? Well, I did want an ounce of conversation. Afraid I'm fresh out of conversation, and I'm right out of words, too. I might have some letters in the bag. Oh. Now, what words can we make? Rattleplex.
Lapituferous.
Those don't count, you just made them up. And where do you think words came from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up. You know, we can't always use the same letter more than once. Now, let me see. Supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
That's not a real word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I think it's a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I.
Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
But if they heard this word, they might have used it once or twice. I'm sure the Roman Empire only entered the abyss because those Latin scholars never had a word like this.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you say it softly, the effect can be hypnosis. Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis.
Yuck!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I, diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-I.
You know, you can't say it backwards, which is so codalized, siligar, philocrepus.
She may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
So when the cat has got your tongue, there's no need for dismay. Just sum it up this word and then you've got a lot to say.
Take out those 18 consonants and 16 vowels as well, and put them in order, which is very hard to spell.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S
Smarty pants?
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S S-U-P-E-R-C-A-L-I-F-R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S. Here we go! Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic, supercalifragilistic, super.